Bonjour et bienvenue à Learn French with Alexa. Today, folks, I would like to conjugate the verb devoir, devoir in the present tense. I have chosen devoir because it's really hard to conjugate and it's one of those funny third-grade verbs, very irregular verbs. Now, what does it mean? It means to have to, okay? To have to. Also translated in English as must, okay? So we are going to learn, in effect, how to say I must or I have to, okay? It's the same. We don't have such a thing as must in French. We have only one verb, which is devoir, okay? Devoir. Now, I would like you to learn this by heart because if you are out there doing your course in GCSE or whatever it is that you're learning in high school or secondary school, this is really important, okay? Now, here we go. How do we say I must or I have to? We say je dois. Can you say that? Je dois. Okay? Now, you will notice that devoir is not je devois, by the way. Okay? And that's why it's one of these irregular verbs. It doesn't follow much of a pattern. And I think you are going to work this one out very quickly. This is a verb you need to learn by heart. Okay, so je dois, I must. Tu dois, same. You must. Il doit. Now watch out, though it's the same pronunciation as je and tu, doit here as a T. We don't pronounce the T, we don't pronounce the S either. Elle doit, she must or she has to. On doit, one must or we must. Nous devons, and that's where it becomes a bit tricky, okay? So we are back to the stem devoir. So it's nous devons, we must, or we have to. Vous devez, okay? You must, or you have to. Ils doivent, they must, or they have to. Elles doivent, okay? That's the plural version, feminine, of to have to. Okay, so if you look at the list, okay, you will notice that though the infinitive verb is devoir, they don't follow much of a pattern. It doesn't follow much of a pattern with the subject pronouns, does it? For je, it is dois. Can you say that? Je dois. Bravo. For tu, it is tu dois. Excellent. Il doit. Very good. Elle doit. On doit. But then when we reach the plural version of the subject pronoun, we go back to the dev version. Nous devons. Here we go. Nous devons. Très bien. Vous devez. Okay. You have to. Ils doivent. Okay. And all of a sudden, we're using doit again with a v at the end. Ils doivent and elles doivent. So you will notice that there is not much pattern unless you learn it by heart and you see that je and tu and il and elle and on at the beginning, the singular forms all have the same pronunciation as in doit. Okay, so if I was to put that into a, example, I could say, for example, tu dois faire tes devoirs. Now, not to confuse anybody, faire les devoirs means to do your homework. And look at the way we say homework in French. We say devoir, which is your have to. Okay? So, funnily enough, devoir is also a noun and it means homework. So, you must do your homework. Tu dois faire tes devoirs. Simple. Tu dois faire tes devoirs. Now, another example, you could say, nous devons aller à la gare pour prendre notre train. Now, without translating that, what do you mean? What I mean is that without me helping you translate it, what do you think this means? Clearer? Now, nous devons aller à la gare pour prendre notre train. Now, think for a minute. What do you think that means? Nous devons means we must, or we have to. But we have to do what? Aller, to go. À la gare. Now, gare is the train station. Pour prendre, in order to take notre train, our train. Okay, so though it looks like a complex sentence, it's actually quite simple because all we have conjugated here is the verb to have to, okay, or must, okay. So, nous devons aller à la gare pour prendre notre train. We have to go to the station to take our train. Okay? How does that look? Okay? Right. And the third example, ils doivent parler à leur professeur. Ils doivent parler à leur professeur. They must or they have to do what? Parler is a verb. Parler. It means to talk, to speak, to talk. So they must talk to who? Their teachers, okay? Their teacher or their professors. The same word in French, okay? So, ils doivent parler à leur professeur. They must talk to their teacher. Okay? What I'd like you to do is have a look at the list again, okay, of devoir in the present tense. And remember, this is a really, 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 really important verb to know. And I would like you to learn it by heart. Okay? Do it for me, please. Thank you. And why don't you try to make your own sentence, okay? And sentences, why not 2 or 3, using this verb, devoir. Put it on the comment, because guess what? I always correct your sentences, okay? I will do it, I promise. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not done so already. And that's it for me. And I also have the Bisou Bisou t-shirt, okay, which is my very special red Bisou Bisou t-shirt. By the way, Bisou Bisou means kiss kiss. That's it for me. Au revoir, à bientôt. Bisou Bisou.